So students, faculty, staff, alumni, friends, welcome at last. It is good to have the hamsters outnumber the squirrels on campus again. It's a year since I met most of you, a year of a lot of learning. For instance, I learned that even if you really, really love snow, and I do, 2 feet in October ain't a good idea. I mean, as the scripture says, to everything there is a season. Yeah, we'll see about this year, right? Maybe we better plan Hampshire Halloween a little early, the end of September. But of all the lessons I have learned over the past year, the most important are those I have learned from all of you. From our alumni, I've learned a great deal about what a Hampshire education does. The passion for justice, inventiveness, entrepreneurship, and openness to change that it fosters. From our faculty, I have learned something about the dedication, courage, and creativity it takes to build an educational community based on learning, inquiry, and invention, and about the annual cycle of exhaustion for teachers who truly commit themselves to their students. From the Hampshire staff, I've learned what people who care about their community and take pride in what they do can manage with too few resources and too many challenges. Just watching how you put things back together after Snowmageddon, how you brought off the inaugural festivities last spring left me in awe. You are amazing. Hampshire is very lucky to have you. And from our students, you have heard me say before that I came here because of you, because of what I imagined you might be able to do for the world. But I have to admit, when I came to Hampshire a year ago, I didn't know what to expect in practical terms. After seeing you in action over the last year, I have learned to expect a lot. I've learned that working with you and for you is deeply rewarding and a lot of fun. I missed you while you were away this summer, and I'm glad you're back. There's one more thing I learned, and it hit me like a ton of bricks last year when Tyler Rowland died. I learned that I feel responsible for every one of you, all the time. I felt the same again last summer when Gabby Do Amaral collapsed and died. I worry about you like a parent. Forgive me if I worry too much, but you all seem like family. And that's made me think a lot about our community, and I want to take a few minutes to talk about the role and direction of community. Your Hampshire education, of course, is a product, first of all, of your own individual efforts, your willingness to explore, to create, to try, and fail. At the welcome ceremony for new students a few days ago, I said, Hampshire is not a full-service educational filling station where we open your brain and pump in knowledge. Hampshire is more of a gym for the mind. No pain, no gain. Work till your eyes bleed, your assumptions sweat, and your mind aches, and the results will be spectacular. Now, I said this same thing a couple of days ago at the orientation of the welcome for new students, and I looked at the front row where all the orientation volunteers were sitting, and they were saying, uh-huh. But obviously, Hampshire education isn't only a product of the work you do and the help, guidance, and mentoring you get from your teachers. It results from a multitude of experiences with the community and its values, from your participation in Source, CLIP, Oprah, Shake and Bake, the Campus Environment Committee, from the ways that you play and the ways that you protest. Life here shapes you, you shape it, you shape others. We are defined by how we live together, what we do, and how we treat each other. Think about the extraordinary power of our culture in our lives and the meaning of what our culture values, what we value: openness, consultative decision-making, fairness. They're not rules, but they are very powerful values that the community abides by. We are inevitably not only receivers but makers of our culture, not only members but builders of our community, and I hope that we can build deliberately, thinking about what we want to achieve, what we want to teach, what we want to show, what we want to symbolize. Do you remember last April when Gary Hirschberg, chairman and founder of Stonyfield Farms and Hampshire alum, announced his generous $1 million grant to Hampshire? One explicit purpose of that grant is to help us build a culture of sustainability at Hampshire. That's not surprising. Larger purposes have always been a major part of our culture. Indeed, as we define Hampshire's place in the 21st century education, there are 4 longstanding values I see as core elements of who we are. The first is creativity. Hampshire is a place that loves and thrives on invention, on difference, on imagining and making, even zaniness. Art is a part of how we think and speak. It seems almost redundant for us to have something called a creativity center at Hampshire that is Hampshire. Entrepreneurship, second value. We constantly ask for and encourage the capacity to invent means to turn ideas into action. That's what I mean by entrepreneurship. Invent means to turn ideas into action. Our alumni are entrepreneurial. You've just heard from Dr. Gamble. Our alumni are creators of new means to turn ideas into action. They are entrepreneurial whether for purpose or profit or both, because our pedagogy required them to invent and build their education. That capacity is essential in a changing world, and a world that needs change. Third, social justice. I don't even have to explain that here, right? The struggle to live justly, to understand injustice, and to promote justice has always been embedded in Hampshire's soul, not an accidental consequence, but an essential element of the impulse that created us. It is a light by which we see more clearly. This year, by the way, is the 20th anniversary of our James Baldwin Scholars Program. We have a record class of JBs this year, 12, and we hope we can use the 20th anniversary as a fundraising occasion to grow the program, because it is one of the things that we do to show our commitment and our understanding. And finally, of course, it's me. You know I will say this is the last: sustainability. While Gary's gift will help us build on it, sustainability is an enduring part of Hampshire's worldview. Gary was here, after all, as a student 40 years ago. In a world living beyond its means, the competition for resources, the destruction of natural systems that provide them creates both risk and injustice. We need to be able to build a community that lives differently, that every student who comes here learns from. Creativity, entrepreneurship, sustainability, and social justice. Not a bad set of values to build from and measure ourselves by and to tell the world about. One final thing I want to touch on. Last year, when I spoke to Convocation, I set out 5 goals, and I thought I'd have a report to you on how we'd done. The first was visible progress on the physical plant. I got to say, I think our physical plant staff has done an amazing job if you look at some of the improvements they've been able to make this year, and that's just the beginning. I hope, Dr. Gamble, the next time we invite you to speak in this building, it will be a very different place. We are going to green and upgrade this building, and it will change the experience for all of us. Second goal was an increase in applications. Well, Julie, your crew have done a fabulous job, record numbers of applications, absolutely outstanding job of recruiting a wonderful class coming in. Third, development of a case for Hampshire, coming out of literally scores of discussions with students, with staff, with faculty. We have that case. I articulated it, some of it at the inauguration. You'll see the newest draft in a few weeks. Fourth, address some of the space needs on campus. Please go and visit CASA and the registrar's office in the Lemelson building. Again, our physical plant staff has done a wonderful job building out that space. You will now find some of your Haku professors up in the CASA space, and soon the first floor of Cole is going to look entirely different. We are making progress. Much of that, I have to say, is due to the willingness of our friends from Institutional Advancement to move just up the road to Pomeroy Corners, to their new office space. Fifth, I told you I thought we could make a 20% increase in Hampshire's overall fundraising. We overshot that one a bit. 100% increase. Just schools don't do that unless everybody is helping. That's Clay and his crew. That is faculty, alumni, board members, students. Everybody has a role in that. Okay, that was last year. Forget about it. We're started on the next goal, and we're going to go way beyond what we did last year. And with everybody in this room playing a part in it, with the energy I feel coming from all of you, this isn't going to be hard. And that enables us to do the things we want to do on this campus, and will continue to. This is going to be a great year. It is great to be here. I just love to think what we can do together in the coming 12 months. And not one, but two, right? Hooray!